So the question is there a need for the state of emergency because there seems to be no longer emergency?
Health Minister Nicholas Steele, when quizzed on whether the country's state of emergency will be lifted before the latest extension approved by Parliament expires in May 2022, says the possibility exists and within the next week a discussion will be held and a decision would be made. Grenada declared a state of emergency in March 2020 as part of measures aimed at containing and controlling the spread of COVID-19. In April 2020, the Parliament approved a 6-month extension which ended in October 2020. However, due to a small outbreak in December 2020, another state of emergency was declared, and since then it has been extended every 6 months.
As you have recognized, if there are all of these easements, etc., and so, then quite likely there isn't. So I look forward to the committee first, discussing and deliberating that this week between now and Saturday, and then by the next sitting of cabinet also it being discussed. It's going to be a collective decision.
Minister Steele was probed on the issue following announcements by Acting Chief Medical Officer Dr. Tahicia Donald about easing some restrictions with immediate effect. Of note was the appointment of a subcommittee to come up with recommendations ultimately for cabinet in relation to gatherings such as sporting events and carnival.
End of this week, we will have recommendations with relation to the gatherings, how many persons would be allowed, what type of gatherings would be allowed, the capacity and things related to that. Would it be vaccinated events? Would it be unvaccinated events? So these questions would be answered before the end of this week.
Dr. Donald says antigen testing within 72 hours of arrival to Grenada will now be accepted at the country's ports of entry.
I know this is a very good change for a lot of persons in the diaspora because PCR testing is very difficult to access and it has been a problem. A lot of flights have been cancelled as a result of inability to get results on time.
She adds that due to the community spread island-wide, they are removing contact tracing measures at establishments.
Basically what we're saying is that when you go to the supermarket, when you go to the restaurant, you no longer have to sign in. However, please note that we continue to do temperature checks and check in for vaccination status.
The Acting Chief Medical Officer says that tourists from the cruise ships will also now enjoy the same privileges as stayover visitors.
So for all tourists, whether you enter by sea or whether you enter by air, you are free to walk around and experience our attraction sites, our restaurants, and life in Grenada in general.
According to the Ministry of Health's latest COVID dashboard, 107 new cases were recorded on Monday from 608 tests conducted. There are now 368 total active cases at a positivity rate of 17.6%. One death COVID-related was recorded on Monday, bringing the total to 214, while the fully vaccinated population stands at 33%, or 37,269, partially at 5,539, and boosters have been administered to 5,238 people. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.